Hi girls, tonight's video is about solving quadratic equations and effectively serves as revision. So I'm going to show you the two methods one more time. So the first method is factorizing, which we've called the man method. So let's say I have this equation here, x squared minus 6x plus 8 is 0. Okay, so this method suggests that you take three things. So I need two numbers that multiply together to give the number at the end. So that's the 8 there. And then I also need two numbers that add to give the thing in the middle, which is the minus 6. Those two numbers are minus 2, minus 4. And so that means we factorize with those two numbers in the bracket. And then we solve that by saying if a product of two things is 0, then one of them must be 0. So either x minus 2 is 0, or x minus 4 is 0, meaning that x is 2 or x is 4. Okay? That's factorizing. We could also use this to solve non-monic quadratics. Here's one of those. So the difference this time is the a is the same. Sorry, I forgot to put the MA down first. So the a is the same, it's 1, that number in the middle. The difference is that the n, the number that we need, the m, the number that we need to multiply by, is the product of these two things. So that's minus 12. And that will give me, so a positive 4 and a minus 3 will work. So these two numbers, instead, the other difference is I use these to split the x in the middle, and then I factorize in pairs. And it doesn't matter which order you do it in, but sometimes there's a smarter order to make things a bit easier, and I think I've done that here. Right, if you try the other way, you'll see the algebra is slightly more tricky. So common factor, and then we factorize in pairs, which is basically saying common factor again, right? So then 3x plus 4 is 0, meaning that x is minus 4/3, or x minus 1 is 0, meaning that x is 1. And that's factorizing, okay? And then we can obviously create 10,000 examples like that, and we probably will. Next method is completing the square, okay? So let's try an example. So let's say we've got p squared minus 4p plus 1 is 0. And we want to sketch this. So first thing we do is we move, well, firstly we notice it's just p squared and not like 2p squared or something, so we don't have to do anything there. And then we just move the minus 1 across here, and then on this side we add half of minus 4, so minus 2 squared. We change that side, so we should also change the other side. Okay, any other methods I've shown you, they all work the same, but maybe this one is the one that we should just permanently adopt. Okay, but if you've got something else that works, go for it. The reason we do this is now the bracket on the left will just be those two numbers. Okay, it's always just half the middle term squared. So over here I get 3. Now I can solve. Start by taking square roots of both sides. If the question doesn't say anything about decimals, don't use decimals, just use surds, or square roots as we call them, and that is the solution. Okay, I'll show you one more. So this one we will have a non-monic. So again, I'll just make something up. So I don't know, 3y squared So let's just say I've got that one. Okay. First thing I do is I get rid of the 3 in the front. I divide everything by 3. Sorry, that should be y squared, not cubed. And then I do exactly the same thing as I did before. So I take the number in front of y, which happens to be the same. I halve it and square it and add it to both sides. Okay. That is a perfect square. Square root of both sides. 3.5 is actually 7 halves, so I'm going to write it like that. Plus or minus, and then I add 2. And again, those are my solutions. Okay. That you'll see there's a couple of quiz questions on that in there somewhere, and that is what we will keep going with tomorrow. Alright, thanks, girls.